What's going on, everyone? Eddie Chase here, and in this video we're going to be going over some trades that we're looking to get into. This is the new episode for Free Forex Trades, episode number 3, and we're going to be going into some trades we're looking for this week of September 6th, 2021. We just finished Labor Day. Today is actually Tuesday, September 7th. We didn't trade yesterday because there was a bank holiday in the US, which had all the banks closed, which means there was low volume. So there was no reason to even be looking at charts or trading at that point. So we waited until after the holiday, which is today, September 7th, Tuesday. We're post NFP, post Labor Day weekend, which is a bank holiday. So it's going to be a lot of movement today. And we're just going to jump right into it right now. So right now, what you see here with Bitcoin, BTCUSD, right now I currently have a trade that we took last week in Free Forex Trades episode 2. We called out this trade live before we took it, and we ended up entering this trade and we caught our 52,000 target. So we took some profits along the way, and we ended up catching our 52 target just as we said here, and it ended up coming back down to stop us out completely. It was a very hard dump in the markets that happened. So let me show you exactly what happened. Basically, when we took this trade, we moved our stop loss. Once we coming over here around close to our TP1, we secured our trade by moving our stop loss up to break even. And at that point, we had a risk-free trade. As you see, it never came down to stop us out at our entry, which was a break-even trade. It came all the way up eventually up to 52,000, just like we called it. 52,350 to be exact, but 52K was actually where we took some profits just in case, because we didn't know if it was going to come up. As you see here, rejected. So we took some profits at 52K again. At this point, we ended up moving our stop loss up again to protect our trade, just in case it went against us. So when it came down to this level here where our stop was, it ended up stopping us in profits, because remember, we entered somewhere around 48,000, 49,000. So we ended up stopping out in profits, and then we had this huge dump. The most interesting part about it is that exactly where it dumped, you see, it came right down to our key level of 42, 43,000, 43K area. And if you recall, back in Free Forex Trades episode number 2, we called out and we said 42K was the key level, but if it came down to retest, we're going to look for 43,000 probably. 43,000 around there, somewhere around that area. And that's exactly what happened here when it came down. It came all the way down to 43,000, and you see in a really big wick, which means it wicked up, which means there was a lot of buyers willing to buy Bitcoin right here, and it just pushed up immediately. And it came right up to our key level above, which is 48,000 now. So now in a sense, we're back exactly where we were before. This trade is no longer valid. We're out of this trade now completely. We still want to aim for these targets up here again, because the reason why is if you look at a higher time frame, you see that price is still uptrending on a higher time frame. So we're going to continue to look for longs and go with the trend on this specific strategy that we're trading, the 100 pip club strategy. We always go with the trend, which is long, which means buy because it's going up. That's all we're going to look for, is buys. We're not looking for sells yet, unless we get a confirmation to go lower. But as of right now, if you took this trade, what we see here is that price was moving upwards now again. It started to become bullish as it's making higher highs and higher lows. Right now, we took a really big crash right now because of some news that came out right now in El Salvador. Supposedly some news that they're adopting Bitcoin as their national currency, and I guess it came off to a bumpy start. I'm not sure exactly what the news is, but I know that this was a harsh move. It came really crashing down pretty hard, and it came down to our key level of interest again at 42K, as you see here. And right now it came back up to 48K key level. What we're looking for is basically, since we're going long and we see that it's continuously moving up, we're still looking for buys at this level. You can buy here at this 43K level. After a confirmation, it would be nice to see a move back up to 48,000, and from here a break above again. We're going to try the same exact setup that we had here once again to bring it up to 52K and potentially maybe break 52K and continue the uptrend to go higher. Right now, if we can get a 43,000 entry on Bitcoin to bring it back up and potentially even break this 48,000 key level, come up, come down again, go back up to 52,000, and potentially maybe even break that as well, that would be great. This is what we're going to look for in Bitcoin right now, because on the grand scheme of things, if you look at it, it's really just pushing up right now, and this is a retracement right now. If Bitcoin comes below 42,000 again, then yes, we might start to see some bearish momentum on Bitcoin, and we might look for shorts or sells at this time. But as of right now, we've only broken down below this key level and retested this one. So we're still looking for longs now and looking to buy it to come back up to 52,000. The second trade is EURAUD. This is a trade that was actually called out on our chat. I was going to call this trade out here in Free Forex Trades episode 3, but we ended up announcing this trade on Sunday before the market opened, and we called it out in our group on our Discord channel and our ECFX community, and we're currently up in this trade. The trade happened faster than expected. We didn't expect it to happen that fast, but basically the trade, what it was it was a long trade that we were looking for EURAUD. Now I'm going to rewind it a little bit so you guys can see how it actually played out. So what we were looking for on this trade was on Sunday before the market opened, it looked something like this, where we were just retesting the current key level down here at 159,500 or so, somewhere around here. We were just retesting the key level, and what I announced in the group was that we're going to be looking for longs on this trade or buys to take it back up to this key level above here once we see a confirmation. And the reason why was because we see that price is uptrending steadily with the most recent market data, and even though we had a nice hard break above this key level and it ended up breaking below it, it only broke below one key level, and it was currently retesting this key level again, which was a pretty big key level, and we were looking to enter this trade and come up long again. So what happened was, for this trade, we ended up getting our confirmation that we were looking for, and we entered, and the trade went something like this. I'm going to play it out for you guys now. So the trade ended up moving back upwards after we got our confirmation. We entered this trade. We almost got stopped out, but we had a nice wide stop. Hopefully some of you guys had a pretty wide stop on this one, because as you see here, this does happen. Sometimes you're going to get a lot of manipulation. So what you want to do is have a pretty wide enough stop. In this case, I had a 40 pip stop, which is pretty big. It's a 40 pip stop, but what you can do is just make sure that you use the proper risk percentage, and it doesn't matter what your stop loss is. It's always going to be the same risk percentage. So in other words, you can have a 50 pip stop, a 60 pip stop, even if you really need it, only if it's aligning with your risk reward, obviously. But you can do that, and you can have any size stop loss as long as you correlate it with your risk percent that you're willing to risk. It's always going to be the same risk no matter how much or how wide your stop loss is. So in this case, we almost did get stopped out on this trade, but we quite didn't. We ended up coming up, and we're really into profits now. In this trade, we ended up catching about over 100 pips. I believe it was 103 pips in total. And right now, price is still currently moving upwards, and we're looking and waiting for price to continue the uptrend back up to 161. 500 or so, somewhere up here. We just want to touch the key level at least. Right now, we've already secured some profits on our trades, and we have moved our stop loss up to break even at this point, just to secure the trade and make sure that we're at zero risk, which is the 100 pip club strategy, guys. This is the way we trade. We manage our risk always. We always make sure that we continue trailing the stop. We leave some runners to end up moving upwards and trying to catch the full potential move, or even more, as much as we can. We try to milk the trade as much as we can. So we're definitely waiting to see if we can see a break above this key level once it gets up here. As of right now, it's not there yet, but once it gets here and it breaks, if it breaks above, we're looking for a break or a retest and another confirmation to ride this all the way up and potentially be able to secure a lot of pips and a really huge trade on this, a nice swing trade. So that's what we're looking for right now on EURAUD. We're already in this trade. Once again, this trade has already played out. So if you were to look to get into this trade, you would probably have to wait for price to come back down to this key level, if it did, in order to get a confirmation and enter back long here. So don't just get in this trade here. This would be very risky to get in the trade here where it is now. Wait to see if price does come back down to the key level of 1.59500 or so. Try to get an entry around here if it does come back down here, and then from here you can ride it back up. So there's still a potential that it could come down and retest. Might not. It looks very bullish right now, so let's see what happens. Let's see if we get this full trade to go up. If not, wait for the retest, enter, and then you can get an exit or a TP somewhere around 1.6100 or so. So for our next trade, we're looking at USDCAD. USDCAD was a trade that was called out in Free Forex Trades episode number 1. What we said in that time was that it was a head and shoulders, or an inverse head and shoulders pattern. As you see here, you see the left shoulder, the head, and the right shoulder, which looks like an upside down body, right? So that's why it's called an inverse head and shoulders pattern. And usually when you see an inverse head and shoulder pattern, you see price tend to start to move up, or it's a bullish pattern. And that's what we saw here when we saw this really hard push up. But then price ended up coming back down here and then breaking below. And now it's currently at this key level right now at 1.2600. So right now what we're looking for on USDCAD, since we're looking for a bullish type of move, we're waiting first before we enter for price to move up, give us a nice bullish move up, come back down to retest the 12600 area, and then we're going to look for a price or a entry somewhere around this key level of 1.2600. So we're not just going to just jump in and dive in. We don't trade this way here at ECFX. We trade price action only, which means we wait for price action to unfold before we enter a trade. We do not gamble here. We wait for price action to come down, unfold, give us a confirmation to enter long, and from here we're going to take the trade up. So we're going to be very patient. We're going to wait for this to happen because we never know. Price can also reject from here and come down, and it might come back down to this key level down here of 1.24600 or so. But right now what we're doing is we're waiting because we're looking to see if price breaks this key level 1.2600, come down for the retest. We're going to look for an entry somewhere around 12600 to take it right back up to the highs of 129. It's going to be a really big potential swing if we can get an entry somewhere around here and ride it back up to the highs of about 255 pips or so. So it's going to be a really great trade if we get this opportunity to enter in this trade. Just going to go into one last trade. I'm going to try to stick to maybe like 3 trades for the free Forex trades episodes to make it short and sweet. But before we continue, I just want to let you guys know that if you want to learn more about the 100 Pip Club strategy or how we trade in the ECFX community, you can always go to our website, www.eddiechasefx.com. You can check me out there. We have a lot of free content on there. We have our day trading course on there where we teach the 100 Pip Club strategy step by step in detailed videos in a video course lesson that you can purchase there. We also have our ECFX EA, which is our automated trading robot. So we have several different streams of income and ways that you can make income through manual trading and automated trading. So once again, if you want to check out my website, www.eddiechasefx.com, you can check that out as well. And if you want to join our free Discord, you can also check me out at EddieChaseFX on Instagram. Just shoot me a DM on at EddieChaseFX on Instagram. I'll add you to our Discord channel. Our Discord channel is a free chat. Just shoot me a DM if you want to join, and I'll add you guys. So moving on to XAUUSD, which is gold. Gold is another trade that we're in right now. Currently, as you see here, we're in this trade right now. We actually entered down here at this blue line at 1733. We're currently in this trade right now in a runner. And what happened with gold right now is we had a really harsh downward move. So I'm just going to remove this, guys. This is the trade that we're in right now. This is our stop loss here in profits, if you didn't know. So if price were to come down under this key level where it's at right now, it would just stop us out in profits, and it's no big deal. We're just in a runner position at this time. So let me remove this real quickly to show you guys where we're at now. So the analysis on gold from last week was that we would look for price to come down to this key level down here around 1797, 1800 area. We're going to look for an entry here to ride it back up long. But as you see, when price came up, it never came back down. It kept on wicking off of it, meaning that the buyers were really buying this up even before it touched this key level of interest down here at 1800. So we never ended up getting our second entry on gold. It ended up coming all the way back up to our 1830 area, which was one of our take profit areas that it hit perfectly, and then it came down, retested, and all of a sudden we had this huge dump on gold today post NFP, which was after NFP news and also after the Labor Day weekend, which was a bank holiday in the U.S. So we had a lot of news last week. The last couple of weeks we've been having a lot of news. We had the Jackson Hole Symposium, a lot of red folder news, and also we're going into Q4 right now. So this was expected that we would see some type of moves like this today, and this is exactly what we got. So we ended up getting this whole entire push all the way back down now to the 1800 key level. So most of you might see this right away and you'll see a big move downwards and you might think, wow, gold is bearish. But in reality, once again, I want you guys to learn to zoom out and go into a higher time frame and look to see what's really happening, right? Because when you zoom out to a higher time frame, that's when you see the real move of what's really happening. And what you see here is that gold is still uptrending. As you can see, price has been moving up, even though it came down. It has downtrended for some time. It bounced off of this, and now we're looking at price rejecting this support right here, which is a really big key level, came all the way up here, came down, and it came down again and rejected very hard, and it came right back up to this level of interest right now at 1830 of where it came right now. So right now what we're looking at is this. So on the 4-hour chart, you notice that 1830 was a pretty big level of resistance, as you guys can see here. You see that it ended up rejecting right here, came down, came back up to 1830 again, rejected, came down, came back up to 1830 again, rejected, it came all the way down. But from here, it really bounced up pretty hard, and it came all the way back up again, came back now once again to 1830, and what do you see? Another rejection. So a lot of people might see this and they might think, okay, this is rejecting pretty hard and it's going down. But here's the thing. Once again, with the 100 Pip Club strategy, guys, we always trade price action, what price action tells us. And even though it rejected several times here, there's something that institutions and banks look for, and that's called liquidity. So when you see these kind of highs like this, very clean, which means they're almost equal highs, right? Every single time it came to this level, it came down. So you see an equal high with this one, right? They're equal. This is equal to the same high. This is equal to the same high. What that means is that somewhere up in this area is called a liquidity pool. All right? And what banks seek to look for is liquidity. All right, in order to trade. I know it's a little bit different than retail. This is institutional trading. This is how institutions trade. Banks and institutions, they're the ones that run the show. So this is how they trade. They look for liquidity. And what they're looking for is liquidity somewhere up here in this area, in this liquidity pool above these equal highs. So when you see a price action unfold like this as a retail trader, what do you automatically think? Whoa, this thing is bearish. It's coming down. It's going to go lower. But what they're doing is they're really just stopping out all the longs that were along somewhere around this area over here. They're taking out all the stops under here, and they're going to try to ride it back up to break those highs and to get into this liquidity pool. So what they're going to aim for is this liquidity pool up here. And the best part about it is that this is our second or our final take profit area, which we were looking for eventually was 1845, which happens to land exactly somewhere in this liquidity pool right here. And this is exactly what we're going to look for. We're going to look for a long to enter to go right back up to 1845 key level area, which is a liquidity area for banks and institutions. Now, here's the thing. You don't just enter here at 1800 because you think, okay, you know what? Eddie Chase said it's going to go up to the liquidity pool up here and it's going to go up to 1845 and all this stuff and the banks and institutions, blah, blah, blah. No, you don't just do that. What you need to do is wait for price to give you a confirmation to enter long. So as of right now, price is holding the 1800 key level, as you can see. It's holding this key level of support. Now what we're waiting for is a nice confirmation to take it right back up to 1830 first, and then eventually 1845, because we're going to see where the banks are going to seek to get this liquidity up here in this liquidity pool at 1845. So as of right now, what we're going to look for is we're going to wait for price to give us a confirmation. Right now, we're going to look for price to give us a confirmation right here somewhere around 1795 to 1800 area where it is right now, and we're going to enter a long position to take it right back up to 1830 again. We're going to take profits along the way as always. We're never going to hold our full position. We're going to take profits along the way as always, and our main target, our final target is going to be 1845, somewhere around here. And from here we can see what we're going to do at this point. If we get all the way up here and we enter down here, we're going to have a very good entry, and we're going to be able to trail our stop accordingly, maybe put our stop loss somewhere up here after it comes all the way up here. So at that point, we're going to talk about it, we're going to discuss it, we're going to see where we go if, and remember guys, if price gives us a confirmation to enter long. So as of right now, that's what we're looking for on those 4 trades, guys. We're looking to enter a long position here on gold and ride it back up to 1830 and eventually 1845. So once again, guys, thank you so much for watching. If you like the videos that I'm doing weekly, please like and subscribe. I'm only going to know that you guys are benefiting from this, or that you guys like these videos if you do that. So please like and subscribe to our channel. These are going to be some of the trades that we're looking to get into, guys, so hopefully you guys can profit with us. And that's going to be it for this video. Catch you guys on the next one.